in the space, this is a great way on LinkedIn to do that. Follow the hashtags and then just be a good citizen. And you might be surprised who shows up because it's this novel of a thing. So I'm encouraging you to do that. And that's really where we're going to start today. We're going to get your debriefs on what your takeaways were on the volumetric capture lab. We'll probably have a break, but I do have a guest speaker today who's coming in, and I'm trying to get to the Metaverse global marketing themes, which all the content that both he is going to share and that I'm going to share is already posted for you in modules. So when you get in there, of course, it's there. No need to look at it, but you already have all the slides. This person is, I hope will impress you for a number of different reasons. So just Devarshan will be here in about an hour or so. Looking ahead, I have another guest speaker coming up. All of that content is also available for you. Their LinkedIn profiles, hit them up, reach out to them, say thank you. These are executives that are coming in to speak to us on their own time for no honorarium, nothing. Just because we are really the first global business school to have this, it's just that big of a deal. So I think this company is doing some fascinating things, and you'll see Omar will share that on Wednesday when we meet at 5 o'clock. Don't be late for guest speakers. It'll be on Zoom, but it will be something that I take pride that we show respect. You have a team-led session, all $760,000. So who am I to say that they're wrong? Okay, so with that, we're going to give the floor over to you. Right here, yeah? Okay. So please give a warm welcome and attention here to Devarshan. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Devarshan Patel and I'm the founder at Cellulab. Cellulab is a peer-to-peer internet sharing company which connects sellers of the leftover internet data with the buyers of the internet data who wants to buy the data for a cheaper price. If I have to visually introduce my application, it's like this. We take the leftover internet data from the sellers and we sell it to the buyers. So we are basically a shared economy platform and we decentralize the usage of internet data. So it was just an introduction of me, but yeah, jumping in the topic of today, we are going to talk about Metaverse. What is Metaverse and how it creates a physical reality to a digital space, and which is a concept beyond this universe. So yeah, let's discuss about it. Metaverse, the conception of the Metaverse was taken from a sci-fi novel written by Neil Stephenson back in 1992. And this is a concept of snow crash where, 3D and digital avatars gather up and create this digital space off of the physical reality. Any ideas, any innovative ideas, like most of the innovative ideas we see in the today's world are taken either from the fictional novels, movies, and concepts, or maybe from Hollywood, like let's say James Bond car, or let's say like Iron Man suit, or like this kind of fictional stories. So what is Metaverse made of? Well, it's kind of hard to explain it technically, but if we go by the words, it's made up of mixed reality. What is mixed reality? It's concept of it's a blend of three things, which is augmented reality, augmented virtuality, and virtual reality. It's what the companies or products and services wants to makes us see, what we see, what we feel, and what they wants us to make see. And let's discuss on why would you as an individual join the Metaverse? Why would you join it? Any answers?
Why would you join the Metaverse?
If they're there.
Yeah, so it's basically you are missing out on something, right? Because your friends are there and you are not there. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was basically going to say the same thing because it's hard to learn.
Yes, so basically it's obviously driven by different things and playing games or socializing, right? The concept of socializing. If you see from a company perspective, it's also a fear of missing out because they are missing out on this emerging technology where the audience are there, where their customers are there, and so they are also willing to join this space. We'll discuss later on who will build this successfully, whether it is the Web 2.0 companies like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, or Google. We'll discuss about it, and we'll come to a kind of a conclusion about it in the later part of this presentation. So, starting from the 1964, we built mini computers. Then we revolutionized to the personal computer industry. Then we went on and invented graphic user interfaces. Then the web came up, then the static web, and now the dynamic web of things. Then the Web 2.0 came up, where everyone is socializing, interacting with each other. And then the mobile phones came up, which was a total revolutionary thing, because internet was at your hand and not at any other computers where you have to physically go there, but it's in your hand, it's very portable. So what do you think would be the next invention that would just change the world? Well, as this wise man has said, that it's not the most intellectual of the species that survives, but it's also the one that changes and adapts the most. It's the one that survives and gets the growth. This is the next chapter of the internet. If you see, there are a team of 3 people who are attending this Zoom meeting virtually, but it's not a Zoom meeting, but yes, they are attending it virtually, like they are right over there. It's kind of like thinking of the person sitting next to you is with you, but not in the physical space. You are at the comfort of your home, but you are there virtually. What would be the initial use case? Well, this could be used in video games, businesses, education technology, retail, real estate, and millions of other things. As humans, we are social animals, and we have a tendency to shop, trade, travel, socialize, and interact with each other. And this tendency is not going anywhere. But the mode of methodology and the mode of this tendency is evolving. It's going with the virtualization of everything. What are the products and services that are making this happen? Well, it's kind of the same Web 2.0 services and products that are initially building these products, such as Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, HoloLens. You all might have seen the productivity vision video from 2015 by Microsoft. Google Glasses is doing this. MetaQuest is building a virtual platform where everyone can interact and come up and find the technological solutions. And there are millions of other companies which are going to this space. So on the left, you can see the visual of a lady watching a movie, and she's entering the movie theater to watch a movie in a virtual space at the comfort of her house. And this is kind of crazy, because in the right, you can see someone playing poker in the Vegas, but at his house. And this is coming up. This is 5-10 years from now, and we must jump into this opportunity. So the topic of the today is about marketing. I know you all might be aware of what marketing is and the basics, fundas of the marketing, but you can see here one event that happened. I think it was in Texas. One movie promoter promoted their movie through a QR code, which was presented through a drone show. There were like 2,000 drones that made up this QR code in the sky. You can literally see stand anyone in the city and then scan this QR code through our phone and then see the trailer of this movie. But what about Metaverse marketing? These are all this kind of creative marketing, but what about Metaverse marketing? Well, Chipotle is an example which implemented this virtual reality sort of concept in the Roblox game. So how it works? But if you are an individual playing a game in Roblox, you can go into the store inside the Roblox game and order a burrito, and the burrito will be delivered at your home. You can again get that burrito, stick to your game, and then again order it. And these are the sort of concepts that are initially being implemented in terms of marketing. Are we ready for the metaverse? Well, technically, yes and no both, but through the concept, yes. Through the ideation stage, yes. You can see like the servers are crashing, the load balancers are not taking place of it, and there are multiple things that are here and there going on, but it's all in initial phases. It will happen, but it's giving some hopes of how it will work out, and we can eventually improve on that. In terms of marketing, we all have to think of this concept that as we have to think in future, even if it's in present, but we have to keep the future in mind, that what's going to happen and what will be people be willing to buy, or what the customers will be stick with. So what does this all mean for you? All the things I talked about. Where are we going with this? Well, it's all about three things. First is marketing, second is content creation, and third is software development. Either you be on the technical sides of it or the business side of it. You have a growth, you will be getting a growth of exponential if you become any of the content or the code side of things. There are certain other things to be involved with in this sort of space, virtual reality. But these are the three things which you can gain an exponential growth if you are in those sort of careers. It will definitely bring up many jobs, and millions of jobs, and other millions of people will be changing their lives through this. We all will not have to travel like 2 hours just to get to a class, or maybe to your job or anywhere. And it will definitely bring change, but these are the things that you should be, you might consider focusing on to be part of this. So many of us are confused that is it Web3 or is it Metaverse, or like think influencers like us are very confused about this, right? That which option to choose, whether to be in the Web3 side of space or Metaverse side of space. Well, these both concepts are different, but we have kind of gathered this concepts up and kind of confused ourselves because Web3 is all about decentralization, and Metaverse is all about it's kind of a different thing. We are kind of confusing it all. So I'm to say that Web 3.0 can help build Metaverse quickly, and it can keep things decentralized. So it's kind of a tool that will help, or the technology will help to build this reality. So this class is about Industry 4.0, the extended reality side of things. It does involve a lot of concepts from Web 3.0, the decentralization of different companies and making technology possible, the concept of blockchain and the NFT, just as Professor talked about. These are the concepts that are used in Industry 4.0, and this this will definitely revolutionize the industry, as we have seen in the past, like farming, then agriculture, then the thing came of mining minerals, and industrialized revolution and stuff. But now it's all about virtualization. Let's do some thought experiments. What's the worst and the best thing about Metaverse that you can think of? I do hear from you all.
Sorry, the best what?
What's the best thing that could happen to you? What's the maybe it could be from any side, productivity, or like, let's say, gaming side of things. And what's the worst thing that you can think of about Metaverse? Yes, go ahead.
I'll start with the worst. I'm thinking health reasons, people getting addicted to it. I know oftentimes they speak about like gamer's brain, so when I'm thinking about this metaverse, I'm thinking like, what is it gonna do to our brains, our eyes, like all those long-term consequences?
Yes, definitely. That's a good concern, by the way. Yes, go ahead.
And inversely to that, I think the best thing is that we figure out how to integrate the metaverse into our normal lives, our physical lives, so that we can use technology to aid us in shopping and exercising and learning.
Yeah, that's kind of beginning with a digital world where you can do fitness from, there's a device called Tonal, if you have heard about it. It is kind of building this kind of virtual experience where there's a trainer right in front of you in the mirror and you can train with them and yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Keep thinking of eyesight.
Yeah, that's a good thing to think about because any cost or any glasses you would be wearing will be very closer to your eyes. Definitely, there are certain concerns of this. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, just a positive. Recently, a company they recently launched these goggles that will be used for like remote work. In engineering, they have like, we're working remote, so we can't fully see certain tools. So now they have these goggles that allow you to see these devices as if they were like in real life. So that's like a positive when it comes to
Yeah, that's very innovative.
virtual
and
reality.
yeah.
and-
It will also save most of the time which we waste because of traveling and other things. But definitely, if we, I think right now what's the most missing thing of being on Zoom or any kind of virtual environment is we don't get to gossip with other people. We don't get to socialize with other classmates and stuff. So I think that's the only thing that is lacking. But Metaverse will be bringing that to reality as well. There are certain applications which are using Metaverse and building breakout rooms in Zoom and all these sorts of things. So moving this moving from this idea, we have heard that Meta is all about Facebook and everything including it. But I have to tell that it goes way beyond Facebook. It's just Meta is just marketing the concept of Metaverse, but it's not marketing in the Metaverse, or there's no technology that is built yet. Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, does see that we are up to that, but I don't think it's solely built on them. So there are other involvements of other companies which will help build the Metaverse. Yes, the thing you are talking about for the Google, I think Google just made this acquisition of the glasses company, and now they are also entering the space. So the more the competitors are, the more creative the space would be, the more technologistic would be the space, and the more competition there would be. And the more the competition, the more the innovation. These are all the companies which are in the market cap of the Metaverse. We talked about Web 3.0 and decentralization of the companies of these technologies. These are the companies which will help build Metaverse, whether you see the infrastructure side of things, or you see the experience side of things, or the discovery side of things. As I said, it could not be built solely through one or two companies. That's why we need all these companies to come together and make this thing a real reality. We also saw about infrastructure, right, of Roblox. So all these server companies and cloud storage companies can help build this thing a reality. Again, I want to remind you all that innovation without commercialization is just an hallucination. If you cannot commercialize upon it, it's not innovation. It might be, yes, creativity is a good thing. We should keep it, keep it not commercialized, but it needs to be, because when you are in business, there should be some of commercialization. And also, as an early adopter of this virtual reality space, you all should be thinking about it and detailing on the revolution of extended reality, which is Web 4.0, and kind of consciously try to capitalize upon it because you are an early adopter. Yeah, let's do this. Also, if you have any questions or anything, you guys can feel free to email me or maybe scan my QR code and we can connect on LinkedIn. Sure. Awesome, thank you.
I was so impressed. So many of you know my daughter Kate is getting her PhD at another school here at ASU. Just a coincidence, but and she listened to what? Can you tell me what the purpose was for that one?
It was also Metaverse, but general introduction to the business student.
So a similar group, and he was speaking and recommended that we connect, and I'm so glad that we have done that. So because your business is also in and around this, I think that there are many, there's much confusion about the metaverse, in part because, and I wonder your opinion about this, because the way that we are introducing it right now, it looks cartoonish. Like even Mark Zuckerberg is showing the avatars that are in this space. Like this. And I'm also asking you, do you think that this has been a good thing about the metaverse, introducing it because it has captured people's imaginations about it? Or have we done it a disservice? Because in fact, one of the videos I shared with you was the Microsoft Vision. I hope some of you looked at this. I think I made it required, where they were looking at medical applications of the metaverse. And it's much more like Sam, I'm more interested in this version of it as well, where the computing power augments our experience. Not that I have to put on a set of clunky goggles and go into a cartoon environment, although I want the freedom to do that. I'm more interested in the metaverse that will augment our experience. And for me, I like this experience. I want to be able to look at these shoes and know for a fact that the supply chain that brought it to me was ethical, was sound, that there's no forced labor that came into its creation. Or maybe I really like this, shirt that Devarshan has on, and I would like one myself. But I'm not going to go up and say, "Oh, where did you get your shirt?" My glasses have already told me that, and I already have it on its way to my home. All I did was blink. This is the kind of metaverse that is inspiring to me. But what do you think? Has it been this cartoon? Is that a good thing that has captured people's imagination and that companies like Meta are showing it in a cartoon? Or was it more compelling to see, as Devarshan has mentioned and Sam has said, it's the overlay of information that will be the most exciting thing for the metaverse?
I think it's just as subjective as the user wants it to be, right? Like the output of like a cartoon, right? So I think for their branding, it makes sense. It's, it's familiar, it's understandable. And for us, like, right, the idea of the metaverse is most, I think, transferable to our current concept of video games, right? So, and that to be stylized is also the consumer's choice. Like I can choose to play a game that's hyper realistic and really crazy and looks almost as if it's augmenting my reality, or I can choose to play Cut the Rope. It's cartoony, it's fun, it's really, I think it depends on the person and what they're interested in. Because maybe we will be operating in the same virtual environment, but my vision will look like this and yours will look like photorealism.
I have a comment to go with that. Well, like I've heard of this thing called like the uncanny valley, whereas where humans are kind of like afraid of things that are human-like. So in my mind, it makes sense that they make them like this because one, it appeals to kids, and two, it doesn't give you that icky feeling when you see like a robot that looks like you. So maybe it's just to like get people used to like, okay, this is how we start, and eventually we'll get to the point where I'll be able to see all your pores, but like that would be too scary at first, right?
Well, in my opinion, as we already know, I agree with you. Because the problem is the hardest thing I've had with this class, and you really helped clear it up, is that the metaverse to me, it's just a video game. And I can't get past that it's a video game. I can't get past like the real applications besides a cartoony video game. And so watching that Microsoft video, listening to your thing, it kind of opens up my eyes to like, no, that's just how the world is marketing it now, because Ready Player One and all these things, but it's more than a video game. There's real world applications.
Very real.
That's why I wanted to focus about not the marketing of the metaverse, that what's metaverse and how will we build it like Meta is doing, but about marketing in the metaverse, like what jobs are available or what contents are available, or what's the usability things of things and what's the scalability side of things. Yeah, yes, go ahead.
I'm thinking like for now, metaverse is just still more on entertainment or gaming side, but in the future, it's possible to say, let everyone's creation like to make value inside of the metaverse. Like I heard those some people build a Minecraft world and it is sell for profit. And this process required, human in the loop can really benefit in this metaverse universe, because in the real world, people might not know about the fascinating Minecraft world you just built, but in the metaverse, because everyone is linked, we've been possible to get those information by our preference, and the information we can receive is a lot more and a lot quicker than we in the real world, and so that way people's creation will make much more value inside a metaverse rather than the.
Definitely, it makes sense. And I think that this is all about this Web 3.0 thing. Like it decentralizes the ideas, right? So that's why the centralized anonymity makes this kind of decentralized idea. And it does spread very quickly. And I think it's definitely a good thing. It's more of like an open source thing where, like we can all definitely spreading information becomes way more easier. And the right information gets, yes.
But there's another thing you mentioned, it's open source.
Yes.
But my opinion about open source is it's not as good as those exclusive. For example, Android.
Yeah.
Or the UE4 or UE5 engine.
Yeah.
Those are open source, but the level of the quality for those creation are up and down. But if you are like going for the iOS, everything is same quality. If you go into the Frostbite engine, everything is top end, the 3A level of quality. And the metaverse just, if it's open source, that means in 1 second we're gonna see our super fancy, creation. Another second we're probably gonna see our creation only worth like few bits, right? So that.
Yeah, going back to the point that you made about Android and being open source, I think yes, if the technical feasibility is much lesser, like if it's not that harder, then the quality of the system would be lower. But let's say if you see things like OpenAI, or let's say you see the GPT-3 model of the artificial intelligence that OpenAI has made, if you see the complexity of it, the usability of it, and the kind of the neural speed and the how fast it is or how complex it is, I think it makes sense because the quality wise, it's more greater, right? If you see compared to other open source projects such as like Android or, yes. So I think it also believes on the, I think it also depends on the contributors of it. Yeah, that's why I think Web 3.0 is also important for it.
One of the examples that I think we talked about in the big data class, and I know not everyone did, but if I give you an example, if you wanted to listen to a Taylor Swift song today or a Billie Eilish, whatever floats your boat, Travis Scott, whatever, you could listen to it right now on Apple Music, on Spotify, on YouTube Music, on Pandora, whatever. Is the song the same? Let's assume the song is the same. But do you gravitate toward one or the other? Which one do you use? What's your favorite music service? Which was your favorite? What's your favorite? Well, gee whiz. Sounds like there's a trend here. And I know that the market data will support this. Spotify has a stronger user base than all the others. But the content is the same, people. Why are you going there? Because of the experience. There is something unique about what is going on Spotify, even though you can get the same thing. How about your news? Could you read the same news feed on one place or another, but you prefer to go somewhere else because of these same issues today? You are not going to change that tomorrow. What I do think is interesting, though, is ownership, is the creative possibilities that unlocks. We are in a global business school. Many of us know that wealth and wellness are not evenly distributed. The future is here for everyone, but we're not all experiencing the same future. The metaverse may unlock the opportunities for people who have not to have faster than any other technology has. Because you could, in Roblox, for given not very much infrastructure, people who today, impossible to get out of their current situation, they now have a job. They're working inside the confines of the rules of the game, of that environment, and they are building real value, are they not? It takes real time and attention to build that road, which is going to have utility to people inside that universe. And all we have to do is solve the connectivity problem, and that is being solved faster than we can even imagine. So will it offer new opportunities to people who have not? Yes. Will some of them be on Pandora and some of them be on Apple Music and some of them be building new Spotify? Yes. I don't know what those are going to be, but the liberation to tap into it is at least as big as what it was in Web 2.0. And all I know is that the last 20 years, we have created trillions of dollars of wealth and value. That's, and I'll try to get into that if I get to talk a little bit. And it will likely continue at speed, faster than the last 20 years of development. That's pretty exciting. So if you're a global-minded person and you believe in the rights and privileges that these things will bring, you should believe in the metaverse. You should want to be helping to build that.
Definitely. And it also brings us to the topic of ethics and wealth distribution and, you know, all the sorts of concepts of equalizing the world. I think it comes from the Web 3.0 things, decentralizing everything. Like just imagine of, you know, this many companies building things together rather than the Web 2.0 space where just 4 or 5 companies are ruling the world, such as Google, Facebook, Apple. What if these 3 companies even wipe out? There's almost nothing, right? Yes. So that's why this sorts of decentralization is needed. And that's why I think I overemphasized it, but yes, I think it's needed. Yes. Yeah.
In the interest of really respecting all of you, I want to make sure you are preparing for Wednesday's sessions and that I leave you with a activity that you'll be able to come in with next Monday. So I will beg our guests grace that we will bring this to a close. Of course, you're welcome to stay, but thank you very much. I wanted you to see somebody else's perspective that it's not just Travis and I are talking about this. So thank you very much. That's some good examples and such. Very good. Are we okay? Can I, so we have about 45 minutes. Can I, and unfortunately, it might be me framing more of these ideas. Do you have energy to do that? Do we need take 5? Go on. Okay.
I'll just stay in 5 minutes.
You are welcome, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah. Another little secret. I know you introduced yourself as a CEO, but can I tell them the big secret?
Yes.
What year are you at ASU?
Okay. I'm now at 5th semester, so I'm junior. I just finished my sophomore year. Yeah, I'm dual majoring in computer information systems and technology, entrepreneurship, and management.
Awesome. Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, cheers, right? And he hides it really well. There are many, and I teach undergrad classes, but when I saw him talk, I'm like, damn, we need him here. But I'm also encouraging all of you, I'm raising this as a point because the metaverse is a great equalizer. And the reason why I'm suggesting this hashtag Metaverse Monday is because it's happening right now. And we can all participate in this, be a leader. And it doesn't matter your age, it's your mind. And you are coming up to speed. You have something to say. Trust yourself to share it with the world. Okay. Yeah. So in module 1, and I don't remember if I shared this with you,